Streaming a new day of the same old shit. I have but 2 races. I had no intentions of streaming tonight. But you know what? Here it goes. So, in this race, I'm just casually racing along, and, you know, I may fast forward it to that particular spot, make my points, and be done with this quickly, hopefully. Or maybe we'll just take our time and wait for the moment to come. What we are watching here is one of these so-called dirty racers. This event is about this motherfucker right here. From now on, I'm going to point out each one of you motherfucking posers that comes into a dirty lobby and races clean. This motherfucker, you know what? I do my best to ignore you cheap douchebag cunts as much as I can. But I don't know what lap we were on, 3rd lap, 4th lap, whatever fucking lap we were on, and you were like, I don't know, 10 car lengths ahead of me, and all I see is wham, into the fucking wall, and there was not a single car in sight but you, and you spun out, and I went whipping on by you. I spent a good portion of the race, or part of the race, at the front, and then we start texting. I start texting you and yakking at you, and you yak back at me, and I start yakking. There you are. You fucking... There you are. What was that? Was that the one, or was that before the one? Let's see if that was the one. Oops. Where the fuck did you go? God damn these stupid games. Okay, let's rewind that. What exactly did you do? Well, I think this wasn't it. No, somebody took him out on this hit, but you'll see, it's coming up. When we get there, we get there. Let me explain this one more time. Dirty racing, like all racing, is supposed to be a race for yourself. I know in clean racing, people bump draft until the right opportunity to pass, and hopefully they do so without wrecking you. But if they wreck you while they pass you, that's dirty in a supposedly clean race, which is the true definition of what dirty racing is. But dirty being used in this category has such a loose meaning that there's no moral spine, no backbone, no nothing. And what do I mean by that? I mean, if you go to a drift track, you have to drift. And there's no 2 ways or 3 ways about drifting. You're either drift racing or you're drift showing off or whatever. But drifting is drifting, and there's no alternate way about it. Like drag racing. There's only drag racing. You can't go in there and play Crash Up Derby in a drag racing lobby. And what's the other one? All the categories of racing have morals and have rules and some sort of map that keeps everybody grounded to a certain function. Well, now that we've got more people running PlayStation these days and newer people running this shit, look, all I know in dirty racing is this. You help each other when you're in the back. Anywhere from the middle to the back, you help each other work your way back to the front. When you're in the top 5, depending on where the first 1 and 2 is, everybody fights at the front regardless. But if you're in 3rd and the guy in 2nd is nowhere near the guy in 1st, you work together and get your ass to the leader and take the leader down and then fight with each other, and you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. Everybody's supposed to fight each other equally, and it's supposed to be fun. Could you imagine if in basketball or football or hockey, if you had 5 versus 5 but 3 guys on one team said, oh, we're gonna slack off and kind of like basically help the other team because, you know, we don't care. Well, what are you doing racing in a dirty track when you're supposed to be fighting with everybody? And then you end up getting to the front of the race and you just hold everybody's hands. You don't even try to hit anybody. You hit me if you see me, but you don't hit everybody. And that's not dirty racing. You see, the difference between you and me is that you hold a grudge. You get mad and you hold prejudice towards me. Not just you, but many drivers who I hit. Yeah, you're all invisible there because you're typing back at me. Then you finally shut up and start driving again. And catch me while I'm texting. I don't join dirty races to win the race. I want to be on the track in a fast car for the fucking sake of it and for the fun of it. Anybody can go do a clean race. Can you do it properly? Can you do it without pushing the guy in front of you? Can you properly brake and stay on the track and not wipe out for an entire 5, 6, 10, 20, 50 laps? Which brings me to the next point. If I want to drive in a clean lobby, which I do at times, I'll do that. But I joined this shit for the... It's supposed to... It's like when you want to watch UFC. You don't go watch UFC to see these guys stick their thumbs up each other's asses. You go there to watch the brutal violence. Well, this doesn't have to be brutally violent as in stupid dirty, but it needs to be dirty at the front, which means violence is involved by means you wreck each other, and you keep wrecking each other, and you keep wrecking each other. And if you look at the map here, I'm going to show you guys the map here. Maybe it was the next race, not this race. But when you're on the track, guys, and the few girls that are out there playing this game, when you're on the track, you need to watch how far behind the last person is. I know it's not your responsibility who's back there, but the farther behind somebody gets, it's not because they suck. It's not because the boost is going to work and bring them back. Some of you guys like to pick on some other guys more than anybody else. And some of you guys don't even touch each other. Like, oh my god, we're friends, don't hit me. Here it is. 3 fucking idiots in a dirty lobby sucking each other's assholes while everybody else gets to fall back. And continue to fall back. The next replay is worse. Not even trying. Just push him and push him and push him and push. And this is why I can't stand guys like you either. You're gonna push that guy, hold everybody off, and then when it's convenient for you, you're gonna wreck the guy, and then you're gonna win the race. And that's the kind of fucking douchebag you are. And that's not dirty, that's just douchebag bullshit. Oh, and then there's assholes who drive backwards. That's not dirty, that's just stupid. Driving backwards on a track, brake checking on a track, holding hands at the front of the race on this in dirty racing is bullshit. And this is why, you know what? You get on Gran Turismo these days and there's like 6 different lobbies during prime time. Any other time, you're lucky if you find one. And when you see one, there's another, and there's another, and there's always 2 or 3 or 6 in one, and 2 or 3 or 6 in another, and 10 in another. Then you may be, you know, depending on the time of day, you may have 1 or 2 that are full, but not very often. I mean, What do you guys think you're doing to a game that was otherwise fun before you ruined it? Do you think that, you know, like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about this for the rest of my life. I'm going to talk about this for a few days, here, there, whatever. Eventually, I'm just going to zip up and disappear again. And I ain't going to say nothing. But I'm telling you now, you're wrecking a game that was otherwise fun to play. A certain category. You've misconstrued it. You're diluting it. You're just a yuppie. Like, learn how to drive dirty. Learn how to fight without caring. Like, what the fuck is what is your fear? So anyways, y'all better just watch this guy play clean as he does. Fucking fake ass motherfucker. Piece of shit poser. You and Jet Train. I know Jet Train's your wife, you fucking cunt. You're both cunts. You know, when we used to play Grand Theft Auto back in the day, they had these cheat codes and you'd press them in sequence on your controller and you'd have a blast and it felt good to cheat. Well, in Dirty Racing, if you're holding your hands with somebody at the front of the race and avoiding wrecking and getting wrecked, then you're essentially basically cheating, because those of us who play Dirty Racing the way it was intended to be played, it isn't fair to us that you sit there and wait for us to do what we do because you know we're going to do it, and then you decide to say, hey, well, you can't tell us we have to crash people, blah, blah, blah. It's dirty fucking racing, a very loose term for a category of fast-moving bumper cars. Like, you have to ask yourself, why do you want to win so badly that you join a dirty lobby? Why? Do you suck so badly that you have no chance at surviving in a race that's otherwise supposed to be clean, but 9 out of 10 races that are supposed to be clean end up being dirty at some point or another? You just don't know when because you can't predict, and everybody's under the assumption that it's clean even though somebody's gonna friggin' do something they shouldn't do? You're not a good driver, buddy. Anybody can learn how to drive in a straight line and not wreck. Can you learn how to wreck people and bounce back? Can you learn how to get wrecked and bounce back? That's the purpose of dirty racing. Wrecking, getting wrecked, and bouncing back. Not hogging first place with some other pussy while there's 6 guys at the back of the race who have no hope in hell of catching up, which defeats the purpose of dirty fucking racing. You know damn well why you don't join a clean lobby and do clean racing, because if you get stuck at the back of the race, you don't want to be there at the back of the race, so why do you do that to the other guys playing this game? Because you're selfish and inconsiderate, that's why. Call me a dumbass. I'm talking about a person who doesn't know how to play dirty racing here, and you call me a dumbass when you text me? You fucking try hard? Look at you. You don't know how to do shit, dude. Yeah, I was driving in my Corvette and I wasn't planning on winning any races with it. There's no special tune to it. It's actually kind of heavy and weighed down right now. simply because I want to watch the race happen as it happens and see what's happening, and this is what I see after 2 races. This is not dirty racing. Yeah, see this race? Look at how far back those 2 are. I don't know who they are. There's 9 people in there. There's the 8th guy and whoever's in 9th. And then look at the rest of the guys on this track that are, you know, like, why would anybody want to join a dirty lobby and have this kind of a race? I'm following along back to in 6th, or 7th. I was probably texting quite a bit during the race. Honestly, don't give a fuck about where I am. That's why I said I'm just watching, not really racing. Watching, observing, and clicking the save replay after so I can show y'all what exactly I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all need to stand up for yourself. You're playing a video game. Nobody knows who you are unless you know them in real life. But that doesn't mean shit on here. Not to anybody else anyway. And if you're friends with somebody, then why would you get mad at somebody for hitting you? You get mad at people you're not friends with for hitting you in a dirty lobby when the object of a dirty race is to hit people in the front all the time. And the only reason why you snagged this win, why? Why? Oh, you didn't even snag this win. Must have been another race you had that I saw you win that I didn't save. But either way, you're not a dirty racer. You're a coward, a rule breaker, or incapable of learning rules. Anyways, I'm done with you.